Information is power, so also is knowledge, says the wise ones. The Public Relations Committee of Nasfat Lagos Zone 1 has organized a 3-day retreat for the public relations secretaries of the branches within the zone. The 3-day retreat opened on Friday, 19th April, with the arrival of the participants and ended on Sunday, 21st April 2024, at the Shomolu Bariga branch of the society. In her speech, the Nasfat Zonal Public Relations Secretary for the zone, Ajia Fauzia Salakosoni, emphasized the reason to have such a retreat.
We have found that there is a reason for us to know why we are public relations secretaries. Many people say public relations secretaries, they are image makers, they are the face of the society of any organization. But how well do we need to do this for us to do our job well? That's one of the reasons why we are here today. So I want to welcome us, and I'm welcoming us. I also want to implore us that today, inshallah, you can see the whole of particles that we have there and the topics we'll be talking about. Each of those topics definitely will have a very long advantage in our profession, in our dealings, even in our deeds as Muslims, because we are Muslim Public Relations Secretary. So welcome, and I want us to also pay attention to this. This is the first we'll be having in the zone, PRS. Since I have become the zonal PRS. Perhaps before I came in, there were some conferences, but this is what one we'll be having. So it's a main one, and like I said, what we are to have it is what we want to review ourselves. We want to empower ourselves so that as public relations secretary, in as much as we are projecting the image of the society, we must have something in our fingertips. Information, how well to do that thing. That's why we are PRS.
The zonal chairman, Alhaji Engineer Mustafa Labi, in his welcome address said,
as an image maker, we must sell Nasfat out there, both in our words, both in our communication, and both in our behavior, so to say. And as a PRS, we do basically two things. Communication. We communicate verbally, we communicate with video, we communicate with pictures, we communicate with a lot of things. And the second is the brand. That brand called Nasfat. How do we push the brand out there? How do we publicize that brand? So I think it's very key that we take everything that will be given today from our speaker in terms of the workshop, in terms of the lecture, and question and answers, so that we can improve ourselves, we can revitalize ourselves to give that necessary brand that Nasfat requires.
Nasfat National Public Relations Secretary Alhaji Babatunde Aremu further enlightened the participants on the need to understudy so as to understand the objectives, vision, and programs of Nasfat very well, such that they will be able to deliver their jobs as the public relations secretaries effectively and efficiently.
We are the image makers of Nasfat, and as image makers of Nasfat, it is our collective responsibility and duty to ensure that Nasfat remains a beacon of hope for spiritual rejuvenation, leadership training, manpower development, and a pride for all Muslims, not only in Nigeria but also across the world. What are public relations tools? The tools that you need basically to succeed are media tools, which includes press releases, press conference, personality interviews, advertising. You also need to know a lot about marketing, and you also know a lot about social functions like roundtable, organizing summits, workshops, seminars, and symposiums. These are essential tools that we need to deploy in order to disseminate positive information about Nasfat, not only about Nasfat, all the subsidiaries. This retreat is very educative, and it creates more awareness in the minds of public relations secretary of this zone. It teaches us how to do our job. It adds values to what we are doing as public relations executives. Not only in this zone, this retreat, from now on, I believe that participants will be able to use all the skills, all the knowledge that they have acquired here, even outside Nasfat. There are various places where they can use it. Every public enterprises, every company, every NGO, every society needs a public relations department. So I believe that most of our members who have participated in this retreat will be able to go out and become general managers of banks, general managers of oil companies, general managers of various public and private organizations.
Topics such as dissemination of information in the language of the audience, the evolving world of AI and blogging, simplicity and creativity of writing for the public, strategic PR for Allah, Islam, and photography were the topics focused on at the retreat, as spoken to by the facilitators, one after the other.
Any country, any society, anybody has two basic groups of people: the founders and the builders. If you have founders and there are no builders, the founders are founded in vain. And you can never have builders without founders. So as the founders are the trailblazers, the builders are the ones who are going to carry on the torch, continue the dreams, ethics, ethos of the society, even of a country. And when the society gets to the state Nasfat is now, the first fear should be disintegration. Mo yansuru laha yansurukum. Because of also help the cause of Allah, Allah will also help your own cause. And that's what Allah has done. If that Nasfat has been able to have sure, committed, competent leader and followership. And from the followership, you cannot have any leader better than the followership. So the followership is good, that is why the leadership is good. So that's what I've come to stay. And that's what I've also given all of us an identity and an identification that we are Muslims. To everything said in Nigeria, most things were Muslim, and you should not start now. And I always tell them, I tell it for once, not any program, but I follow it very well. I'm happy that Nasfat came out stronger from that leadership crisis, because Nasfat was built around the people, not around the leader. Thank you for that.
Not just a PR practitioner. Everybody wants a life of simplicity, convenience, and comfortability. And what artificial intelligence has brought to us is to make our life easier and simple. And as a public relations practitioner, AI will assist you in all you do, especially after you must have written your press release or whatever you have written. And for you to, because English is not our language, for you to get the best of semantics, the best of terms, the best of simple tenses, you can use AI to optimize whatever you have written. So it's going to help you in ensuring that, okay, I've done, this is the best practices we can do. Meanwhile, it is not really too advisable to always say, let AI write it for me. You write and give AI to perfect for you. So it is something that is applicable for everybody. Every organization needs public relations. So if any organization says they don't need public relations, then that is the day that organization start dying. And because of the new trend now, Islam as a body, we need public relations to tell our story, and not for people to tell our story for us. And now that we have our own public relations practitioners, they will tell the story for us in the way our story is.
and not from the way somebody perceived Islam, and they will just come and say àwọn alákatakítí yẹn because they don't have a proper understanding of Islam.
About writing, writing is ancient. We also meet our forefathers doing the writing, and likewise when we look at the foundation of Islam, we know writing is part of Islam, and that is the reason why we have the holy books that we have today. So when we are talking, when you are talking about writing, writing is ancient and is going nowhere. So talking about simplicity of writing is very essential. If you look at the world we have today, we know the Gen Z generation are not really into writing, they prefer abbreviation. And if you're kind of a person that likes showing your intellectual prowess, you may find out that so many people will not listen to you. So you have to imbibe simplicity when you are writing, using simple words so that the larger audience can comprehend what you are trying to say. So it is very essential.
Undertake PR, strategic PR for Allah. Of course, you really can't do PR for Allah. Allah is omnipresent and omnipotent. You would rather do PR. You would rather do PR for Islam. And that begins with you. It begins with interaction. It begins with engagement. It covers knowledge. Yeah, we spoke at length. We had a very insightful session all around brand and how we can move Nasfat as a brand forward for the service of Islam, humanity, and for Allah. I think it is effort in right direction. We really need quite a number of capacity building efforts like this. It definitely will push us up, and we shouldn't just leave it at media alone. There are several allied and auxiliary support units around Nasfat. We should always create room to engage and educate and re-educate ourselves. And so for that, it is indeed a wonderful event that I seriously recommend that we. I think my own biggest take is that we need to reawaken the giant in us. We need to let ourselves know that the time is right to re-engineer Nasfat. And at this point, we've been a wonderful product of Islam for Allah for so long. So we are indeed a brand that has not taken off. This is a time for us to sit around the table. We bring professionals, we bring the scholars, then we'll sit down, we design the new course for Nasfat. What do we want to be in the next 5 years? Where should we be? What guides us? What are the guidelines? What are the guiding principles to becoming a global giant that we actually are?
Let's invest on photography, because the only thing that you will show the next generation, the only evidence you have that will show the third generation, the fifth generation, that okay, in 2024, every 2024, we have a retreat at showroom that we got PRS retreat. It's the pictures and videos. Without that, you don't have any evidence. You just explain, tired. We have been asked many questions in Nasfat that have we done this kind of program before? The answer you get is yes. Where is evidence? No proof. So please, let's invest in photography. If possible, if we can tax Egypt branches to get a camera for Egypt branch or zone, I've come to notice some things in Nasfat. We don't invest in photography at all. Most programs we did. We should invite a standard, a professional photographer to our events. There are some pictures we took that were sent online. Although this one is also for me also. Open the door before I come. There are some pictures we took that we post online. But what is that in Nasfat? It does not work our standard at all anymore. We don't have to take pictures to really know with phone anymore.
On the need to take very good care of their health and manage stress in the course of their duties in order to be more productive and successful in their assignments, Dr. Suleiman Yekin gave this piece of advice.
It's not only limited to your own profession, you understand? It's everybody, especially those of us who live in Lagos. We are constantly under stress. Is it the traffic or whatever? Most of us stay very far away from where we work. And with respect to your own job, you move from one place to the other. The advice is that you check your vitals regularly. You check your blood pressure, your sugar level. You try to have adequate rest when you have the time. You sleep very well, not less than 6 hours a day. Not that when you get home, you still go on your phone or you go on social media and be watching movies. You know what you face in the daytime. Don't go and be in a company of those who are not moving everywhere. You manage your stress. And you visit your doctors regularly. If you are on medications, you take your medications regularly. You understand? Religiously. Don't compromise your health because of your job. If you don't have the strength or the ability to move out, you stay. You understand? It's either you continue the job, but the job goes on without you. Your health is very, very paramount. That is it. Check your blood pressure, check your sugar levels, know how vital you are. If you are on medication, you take your drugs, and you see your doctors according to appointments.
The high point of the event was the presentation of certificates to the participants at the retreat. The retreat had in attendance the Nasfat Executive Secretary, Alhaji Abdurrahman Adogi, non-Nasfat members who are also in the profession of public relations who were part of the participants, also Lagos Zone 1 Zonal Executive Council members, the host branch chairman, Alhaji Musliuddin Shonaike, among others, who graced the capacity building training event. From Nasfat Shomolu Bariga branch, Ada Nijo Central Mosque, Kadupe Pedro Shomolu, Maiden Yunus report is presented from our studios.